Good morning, everybody. I'm Bart Winkler. Paul Imig is here for our and we're bringing in Steve Sparky Fifer of 1250 AM The Fan. Hey,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's so weird. This whole thing is weird, but whatever. It is what it is.
I
I guess
did
at
an
this point.
interview with some lady,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Why did you leave The Fan?" I was like, "Well, it's gone." She goes, "No, it's not. I heard Sparky on there." I was like, "Well,
Everybody's got Bud Sparky. It's a very weird thing. The whole
it's like
thing.
the SNL season when I don't know if you guys know much about that, but there was a year that it was so bad. And then Lauren Michaels came back, and the last sketch of the year was everyone in the cast burned in a fire, except one of the executives came and said, "Eddie, come with us." It was Eddie Murphy. So the next year, it was just Eddie. Or that might have been the John Lovett story. Either way that happened, I got to look
Wow.
into it.
I didn't
Anyway,
know.
so what, can you just explain to those what you're doing, so I don't have to?
Yeah, sure. You've done a great job helping me on Twitter, by the way. I appreciate it.
Vice versa.
Yes, we're trying to help each other. I'm trying to help everybody I can. Gary, Leroy, whoever. So on the 55 breaks, we have CBS Sports Radio all day. And the 55 breaks for 2 minutes to lead off each 55 break. There's either a part of an interview, a 2-minute Sparky take. The Sparky takes are only on the radio. You won't see those on the websites. The interviews, maybe it's 2 minutes with Ryan Wood. And then the rest of the 12 or 15-minute interview is on the 1250 website or on the Odyssey app. That's where that all lives. And Monday through Friday, I try to have fresh stuff up. Now, in the case of, let's say, Monday, where I have a sick kid and I'm at home, I have nobody else to do any of this stuff. So in that case,
well, I'm looking for it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So in that case, maybe you'll hear some old stuff until I get back on the radio because I have no way of doing it otherwise. But either way, so we have that going on. And then Curtin Long, Ryan Horvath, you guys know Ryan Horvath. Obviously, he's on the show all the time. So he's on with me Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We record normally at around noontime. Sometimes we live stream it on Twitter. So that's our podcast for the Packers. And then our Bucks podcast, which is Green and Growing, which is me and Nathan Marzian, Bucks super fan. We record that on Tuesday and Thursday nights. And then those are posted first thing on Wednesday and Friday mornings. And once in a while, we'll live stream those too. But
a lot of it seems more like web. Like you're still on the radio, but a lot of is
digital.
Web.
Yeah, digital. That's pretty much it. But either way, I'm just, look, my goal at the end of the day is to try and figure out how one day to get local programming back on this station, right? So if I can accomplish that, it would be awesome if we can have Bart back on SSP at some point and have Gary back on SSP.
Part of the reason why I've said nothing bad about Odyssey this whole time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Not that it really has anything to do with me whatsoever, but either way. So that's kind of my goal. And people slam me and go after me and all of that for staying and not quitting and leaving my family in lurch for all of this. But it is what it is. I'm just trying to make the best of what I can. And one other thing, I'm going to take my opportunity, and you knew I was going to do this, I'm sure. Is our toy drive is still happening this year. 16th annual fan toy drive for Children's Wisconsin and Robin's Nest. Monday, November 28th, Plains Farm and Fleet, Monday through Friday. First time we've been out there for 5 days. I was going to say we, but it's I really, for 5 days. And yes, it's going to be me pretty much. 6A to 6P.
Well, I want to be, somehow I'm coming out. I'm going to do something.
Sounds great. Come on out. Do your podcast from out there or whatever.
I think I'm going to.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would totally appreciate that. Rami Makloff, there's some talk he may make an appearance at some point during the toy drive as well. So that would be cool. He may come in from Sacramento towards the end of the week to be at the toy drive. So that would be fun. And again, the link is up now if you want to donate online, 1250amthefan.com. But yeah, Monday through Friday, starting the 28th. I'll be out there 6A to 6P. I take a couple hour break each day. Pretty much they told me I had to take some type of break during the day. So I'm taking those couple hours, get my kid from school or whatever, because it's in Oak Creek at Blaines Farm and Fleet where I live. So it's perfectly convenient that way. But otherwise, yeah, we'll be out there. We got a bunch of volunteers out there collecting toys just like we always have in the past. And the difference this year versus before, and you may believe me or may not believe me, but it was true because I was in the meetings. This was all came up with earlier this spring, was all the stations are promoting the different charity events of the other stations. So for instance, like Stuff the Bus is coming up Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's at a Pick and Save in Oak Creek, of course, as well. And I'm doing a shift there for Stuff the Bus from like noon to 2 on that Wednesday before.
I won't be a part of that.
Before Thanksgiving. Right. So collecting food for Feeding America, the whole deal. And then in turn, all the stations in the building will help promote the toy drive for us. And then the different personalities will make appearances out of the toy drive for us throughout the course of that week. So it's Hot 105.7 with Promise and GA, Radar and Elizabeth, Allie Faith. All of them will be out there at some point during the week. So that's a pretty cool aspect of it. But it's all up to everybody listening to kind of make this work. And if it doesn't, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm very thankful that they didn't can it, because I was concerned when all of that went down that maybe this toy drive was going to be lost as well. And they assured me it wouldn't. And here we are. So we'll see how it goes.
Steve Sparky Fifer on the Bart Winkler Show, and Paul Imig, our host of Take it away, young Paul.
All right, we'll see how many we can get in. I guess I am the youngest of the three of us. Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Just barely, but yes. We'll get as many as we can in the time that we have allotted. But I want to start with this. Bart, I know for you for sure, you were reveling in the Packers' victory. You were excited. Now, Matt in the Falls, not so much. But in the moment, you were excited. So 3 days later, removed from the emotion of the victory, you would still say it's a good thing that the Packers beat the Cowboys on Sunday. Or
So the counter argument to that is they are not going anywhere. They suck. You're ruining your draft position. But I'll say, I am happy they won. I'm not draft position guy. We're not that shitty.
Huh? You can do that on these podcasts, can't you? Yeah. Wow.
We're not that bad, okay? By the way, this podcast, Odyssey has me.
Really?
Yeah, because they pick. I don't know. It's weird. What I learned about podcasts is if you do one, everyone picks it up.
Pretty much, yeah. Because you're Blue Wire Pods, you're not 2400 Sports podcasts, right. And they're like rivals, I guess. They're the competitors of each other. So it's weird that Odyssey would pick up Blue Wire Pods, but I know that's true because I've seen other Blue Wire Pods on the Odyssey app as well. So
and there's other shows on there, like a show from 10 to 2 is on there.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so yes, it's good that they won. Now, playoff race, look, I wanted Washington to lose the other night, playoffs. I wanted the Niners to lose the other night, playoffs. But I'm just taking a step back, see what happens against the Titans, and go from there. So, I'm glad they won. Steve?
Yeah. By the way, first time playing this game. Very weird.
Yeah, so you got to give me a...
But yeah.
You got to really dial up the...
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's a good thing. And it's a good thing because your future stud wide receiver, or at least that's what you hope, Christian Watson, had that breakout game and got some confidence. It's a good thing because maybe, and I don't think this is going to be true, but let's be hopeful. 12 buys into what this offense should look like, because this is what it should look like and should have looked like all year. And maybe it would have, because was it the Washington game? Forgot what game it was, where after the game, Rodgers was like, hey, if Watson doesn't get hurt, on the second play or whatever it was, we had all these plays designed for him. And that was a big part of our offense. And then we had to kind of go in a different direction and screw this up. So I think this is kind of what they wanted the offense to look like. But they had no other receiver to blow the top off of defense. And now they do, if he can stay healthy. This is a gigantic deal for them, because now all of a sudden you've got him, Romeo Dobbs next year coming back with a full training camp and healthy. Samari Toure, who nobody really thought was going to be a big factor this year in this Packers offense because he was a late round draft pick out of Nebraska. Rodgers likes a lot. So now you got three guys with a year in the system going into next summer. And I think if you're 12, you're feeling pretty good about that situation. Because now you have a whole offseason for them to develop, learn more about the offense. Now you build that chemistry. I think it's good all the way around. They needed somebody to step up and be a difference maker, and Watson finally proved he could do it, because as nice as Alan Lazard is, and he's a nice player, he's not that guy, right? Randall Cobb is nice, but he's not that guy. They needed that guy, that Jordy, that Devontae, that whatever. I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver necessarily, but they needed a difference maker, and they got one. They knew they had one when they drafted him, and now we finally got to see it.
Well, the Watson part, and there's another Watson topic here coming up shortly. The Watson part of it is, so I'm going to give you my answer in a moment. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of deciding what my answer is because I'm very much on the fence with it. If Christian Watson could have still had this breakout game and they would have lost, Christian Watson still would have had the breakout game. You still could have said, whoa, well, like they still have this future stud or this guy that if he can continue at, I mean, not at that pace, because that would be a 51 touchdown pace, but like if he could be this guy, like a 1-up, a 2-up version of an MVS type of a wide receiver, you have something here. But you would have known.
So you wanted them to lose?
In the moment? No. Hold on. I genuinely mean this when I'm like, I'm almost like live debating it with myself to some degree. In the moment, no. Happy they won. That's why I'm thinking like, okay, 3 days later, because I was already going into a Dallas, Tennessee, and Philly trio of games. Cool. Like they've been 3-9. If they would have lost those three, or maybe you're 4-8, they have the 8th draft pick. And yes, I am a draft pick guy. They would have had the 8th pick before they beat Dallas. Now I haven't seen it, but I'm guessing 10th, 11th ish range. They definitely lost a couple draft positions. If you don't think the season is going anywhere, if you don't think it's a playoff team, not even a wild card, like a playoff team, like forget Super Bowl, but then you probably should want them to lose. Like Sparky.
No, I'm gonna, because I don't like big picture. All this stuff is big picture, but sometimes even when you're a tanking team, like bad baseball teams will still win 55 games.
Yeah,
you still want to see your team. You still need to feel a win,
right?
No.
And
we're investing 3 hours plus every week.
No.
So now you're on the other side.
No, that's not true. No, but again, I mean, Imig and I, and you to a degree too, but Imig and I know are kind of on the same. Go through a 15-win Buck season where you are rooting for your team to lose every freaking game to have an opportunity to get in the lottery.
Okay, so we're not there then.
Hold on a second.
The Packers are not there.
Right, but I'll give you a football example. For me this weekend, the Colts hired Jeff Saturday. You got to be freaking kidding me. We all know I'm a Colts fan, right?
Yep.
So Irsay forces Reich to bench Matt Ryan and say he's done for the year. Then Saturday, his mole comes in to be the coach of this football team. And, I'm going to play Matt Ryan. Okay, Jeff, go ahead. Play Matt Ryan. So now do you know what's happened? Instead of being horrible for the rest of the year, like should have been the plan. That's what I thought Irsay was doing. I was like, okay, this is actually smart. Fine. Let's finally get a franchise quarterback because you don't have one instead of playing old guys every year. And now instead, they're going to play Matt Ryan. They're going to win a few games. They're going to screw themselves out of a chance to get CJ Stroud or any of these other guys so Jeff Saturday can feel good about himself and Irsay can feel good about himself. And you screw up the future and you're still on this dumb quarterback carousel. So I get the whole aspect of, as a fan, if you need something, right, and that something is there at the top of the draft and you're already having a bad year, just finish what you started and go get that future franchise piece.
Well, it's different for the Colts who need a quarterback. The Packers are just going to draft some terrible lineman from Georgia.
Right, but that's just it though, right? And I don't know that. And I don't know if Ryan and I talked about it, who I was talking about with somebody, as far as if they would have been really bad, would they have went and drafted a franchise quarterback, having Jordan Love on the roster or not? I think they would have. I think they still would have taken a quarterback and said, it's been real, Jordan Love, you're out of here. And this is going to be our franchise quarterback. And maybe we have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row. And that would have been the plan. But now, like Paul said, that's done. I think they could still probably be a playoff team at this point. I think that's still a possibility. Well, again, is that enough? I don't know.
Well, I'd say if you think, and I think if Packers fan, to generalize, thinks that the Packers can make the playoffs, and, like the Ted Thompson stuff and the stuff that I think it's a phrase that Bart hates, just get in the dance. If you really
bite to the apple, Paul.
Bite to the apple. That's the new one now. If you think the Packers can actually make the playoffs, then you should be happy that the Packers won. Like, then it's a slam dunk, no question. If you think the Packers can make the playoffs, then they have a chance. A good chance? No, but they didn't have a good chance in the 2011 playoffs either, in the 2010 season, and they won the whole thing. So if you think they have a chance, you should be happy they won. I don't think they have a chance, but as a selfish fan living in the moment, I'm more excited to watch the game on Thursday night now that they won, because 3-7 against Tennessee, like, come on, I'm going to watch it. Yes, because whatever, it's the Packers and they're on TV, but I'm like, now wait a minute. If they can beat Tennessee, and I just saw Philly lose, we're talking 6-6, and you can start to talk yourself into this stuff. And that's the counterbalance. And Sparky, I'll do a very minor quick tangent to say, if you were a Utah Jazz fan, my fellow NBA nerd Sparky,
oh my God,
you go into this season, you're Danny Ainge, and you're thinking, we're gonna suck. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna get Victor Wembanyama, or at the very least, Scoot Henderson. And then this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna reset our franchise. And now you're 11-3, and you're like, oh shit, like we're 11-3, and now your fans are excited. Now Lauri Markkanen is an all-star. When did this happen? So like you're excited in the moment, but you're also like, oh no.
I think the Jazz should keep trying to
blew
win.
Our chance at Victor
until he trades them all.
Trying to win. Yes, Jazz.
No. Say that again.
No. The Jazz should keep trying to win.
No,
they should make trades. Unload Markkanen with his value at the all-time highest. Like if this dude is still doing this come, middle December, end of December, you start shopping them immediately. Because
Clarkson, Conley, like you got to go. You're too good. You got
to take the Philly approach to the process.
Yeah.
And tear that thing down. And that's what Danny Ainge thought he did. He thought he tore it down enough that they wouldn't be able to compete. He's never going to tell his coach, hey, go suck. He's not going to say that, but he's not going to give him the horses to win. That's what Philly did. And now you look at Utah, like you said, and I was saying the same thing, like, dude, they're screwing this all up. That's what Popovich did. Popovich is doing the same damn thing. Yeah. He did the same thing this offseason. When you move Dejounte Murray, that's you saying, hey, man, I see a game changer, and I'm going to go get me one because I had Duncan, and this dude is better than Duncan. I'm going to go get this dude, and I'm going to have another run with a bunch of rings at the end of the day. So I know fans don't like it, but big picture, reality-wise, if you have a chance to get a superstar, you need to figure out how to go get that superstar.
So I would say, though, back to the Packers, like as much as they were terrible through 9 games, had a really encouraging performance against Dallas, I'm going to say with, of course, hesitance, as you heard me talk out of both sides of my mouth, that I'm happy they won. I don't think they were bad enough to get in the top 5 of the draft. Not that you can't get a great player at 8 or 12. Rashawn Gary, was he 12th? Great player, incredible player. You can. If they could have been like top 5 pick bad, I would have said, not happy they won. I don't think they were bad enough, pending like Rodgers going on IR with a thumb injury, to be that bad. So you know what? Let's go see what happens against Tennessee. Philly all of a sudden finally loses. Maybe they're shaking a little bit. So with, of course, a lot of hesitance. 3 days removed. Happy they won. All right.
I'll wrap it up. It was John Lovitz in that sketch.
John Lovitz, not
Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Okay.
And also, I'm trying to get a podcast off the ground, and Sparky's bringing a station back from the dead. We needed the Packers to win that game.
Yes.
So there you go. I mean, it's a business decision too. So
go ahead.
All right. So topic number 2. So Bart, I learned about this website this year through our Dynasty Fantasy Football League. It's called Keep, Trade, Cut. So you're ranking, then you're basically
bench, cut, start.
Okay, Taz, where's the moose? Okay. But what I want to ask you here is, and here's the preface, when you're deciding who you're going to keep, who you're going to trade, and who you're going to cut, the baseline is that the trade value for each guy, just assume it's the same, because it would be unfair to say, oh, well, I'd get more for this guy than that guy. Just you get the same for each guy. Keep, trade, cut. You would keep Christian Watson. You would trade Romeo Doubs, and you would cut Allen Lazard. Watson, Doubs, Lazard. You would keep Watson, trade Doubs, and cut Lazard. And again, it's for this year. It's to finish out this year. It's for the future. It's just like in real life. You're Brian Gutekunst, and you're told, hey, Brian, there's this new NFL thing. There's this new referendum. And in the next 2 minutes, you need to tell me who you're keeping, who you're trading, who you're cutting. You'd keep Watson, you'd trade Doubs, and you'd cut Lazard. Bart.
I will agree to that one. I will say Now, part of this sucks because all those guys have been hurt multiple times this year. So what is their true value? But to that extent, and I know it's just one game, but Christian, like, the offense looked completely different because he exists.
Yeah.
I know they ran the ball a lot, and finally Jones got more than 20 carries, but Rodgers had his best game of the year. Christian Watson was making big-time plays. Yeah, I got to say yes. I got to say, Watson's the one you keep, and then Lazard sucks the most. Steve?
Sparky?
No, I'm going to disagree on this. And I don't disagree on keeping Watson. I think the only thing I'm disagreeing at, and I'm nitpicking because of perceived value, I would trade Lazard. and cut Dobbs, mainly because Dobbs doesn't have the body of work at this point. I don't know what you would really get. You're going to sell him the training camp tape. That's how you're going to get a draft pick back. Lazard has a body of work. You can put together something to maybe get more value back for Lazard than for Romeo Dobbs. In order of who I'd want to keep, yeah, that list is correct, right? I want to keep Watson. I want to keep Dobbs. Lazard is the last person I'd want to keep of those three. Totally agree. But as far as what you'd get back more trade value-wise, I think I would trade Lazard and cut Dobbs for this exercise. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to add a part B to this. We agree on Christian Watson being the keep. I'm going to add Aaron Jones to the conversation. Keep, trade, cut. You're still, even with Aaron Jones in the conversation, keeping Christian Watson.
No. What? No.
No.
You are?
No.
Do you know
You're
Aaron
bringing
Jones?
it up. And what?
Hold on. Can I tell you why?
Wait.
Okay, go.
It sounded like a whale was bellowing. Where's that coming
I heard
from?
that too.
That would be window work happening above me. I apologize.
There you go.
Oh, God.
All right, I'm trying to like mute in between takes here. Do you want me to tell you why I would keep Watson over Aaron Jones?
Sure.
Yes.
How old does Aaron Jones turn in 2 weeks?
30?
28. That is old in running back years, right? Is it true? Like, 28 running backs, 28-year-old running backs are old.
Yeah, sure. It's going that way. Okay, yeah, fine.
So you wouldn't take maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8 years of Watson over like, I mean, let's
We saw
break
one
it down.
game of Watson.
What's that?
Aaron Jones is not 28. Like his birth certificate, but in NFL years, he's 24 because neither of the two coaches he's ever had played him.
That's true.
So how many more good years does Aaron, like, how many current, I'm sorry, I'll mute it even. How many current good years does Aaron Jones, at this current level of his play, how many years
7.
No, stop it.
I'd
How many
say
years?
5. Yeah, 5.
He's gonna be crushing at age 32.
But remember, like Bart said, they're not giving him a huge workload. Now, this last week was how it should look every week. There's no chance Rodgers is going to agree to throw the ball 20 times a game for the rest of his career. That is not happening. So going forward, yeah, I think he's got, I'll say 3 to 5 years if you want to put a window on it, 3 to 5 years. But like Bart said, it's one game from Watson. And while I'm excited, this offense is based around the best player on offense. That's Aaron Jones. He's the best player on offense right now. He's that
right
guy.
now. There's no question.
I can't trade the best guy. He's got a salary issue coming up here too that they're either going to have to restructure or fix or whatever in the offseason, but you can't just let him go. And you better not trade him either because I'm going to be livid if they trade Aaron Jones. But so, yeah, no, I can't. No, you trade Watson, you keep him.
Bart, no, you're keeping this 28-year-old running back who, but like, okay, listen, makes it sound like I'm like slandering Aaron Jones and that
I've never. Normally, you're like patient Paul over there, but you're buying into the hype over one game.
I think more than what I'm doing is if you made me make a decision, as the whale bellows, I assume above me, that I would say that a 28-year-old running back, it's not what I would choose. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm down on Aaron Jones. He's great, but I would take the promise of Watson, especially on a 4-6 football team, over a soon-to-be 28-year-old running back. It has nothing to do with Aaron Jones, but like Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, these guys are 27. Also, like Aaron Jones is currently 27.
Running to the ground.
No. You can't make that comparison. That's not fair to Aaron Jones. Dalvin Cook is a walking injury. Every year, the dude's always hurt. And Kamara has been banged up throughout his career, too. And in both instances, they're both got heavier usage than Aaron Jones has in his own offense.
That's true. I would, if you told me right now, like keep, trade, cut, Aaron Jones, Kamara, Dalvin Cook, I'm keeping Aaron Jones. He's my pick of those three. Right.
Let me ask this one before Steve has to go.
Okay.
And there's a little bucks to it, but somebody asked me this on Twitter. Who is more important for the next 4 years to their respective team? Christian Watson or Marjon Beauchamp?
Watson. That's easy. I mean, Beauchamp played well, no doubt he played well.
The way that Paul feels about Watson apparently is how I feel about Beauchamp.
Wow.
Yeah. That kid was so good the other night.
Yeah,
Beauchamp keeps.
But you have Giannis. Like Watson is going to be the guy for the next quarterback too. So you have to have that go-to guy at the end of the day. Beauchamp, what's his ceiling? Fringe all-star, maybe? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he ends up being better than that at some point. So who does he replace? He's going to replace Middleton if Middleton decides not to come back next offseason. Is he going to be able to throw
I've just sunk
20
so
a
much
night?
time into the DJ Wilsons and Thon Makers of the world that to have a first-round pick that's actually worth a damn, I'm just very excited.
So now we understand. Bart is coming from the hurt Bucks fan standpoint of having first-round busts, see some hope at the end of the tunnel and says, this is my guy. I'm riding with Marjon Beauchamp. That's what this is.
I'm at the point where I've seen Giannis play enough. I'm now buying tickets to go watch Marjon.
Here's the difference.
That little clip and put that on Twitter.
So if you would say, though, so Christian Watson, though, is a rookie on a 4-6 team. Beauchamp is a rookie on a team that could very well win the title. And if Sparky, if you had 4 more minutes, I have a Bucks question, but obviously if you have to go, let me know. So if there was an NBA Finals game, let's say Beauchamp keeps playing like this, and the Bucks are in the finals, and it's Game 5, and it's 2-2. How many minutes does Beauchamp play in that game?
15.
More or less than 1?
Oh, I don't know right now, man. I mean, look.
No,
I guess everybody's
Middleton's back, Ingles is back, Connaughton is back. Does Beauchamp play a minute?
No, I don't know. Probably not. But it's going to be, he's creating problems for Bud right now playing well. That's what he's doing.
Which is great. A great problem.
Because, again, I'm not a huge Connaughton fan. But so you're going to have Connaughton. Grayson Allen has not done himself any favor so far.
He's apparently he's on the trade block. Yeah.
Well, as he should be. But, I mean, again, he's one of the only guys they can move at this point, too, because of their lack of assets. So he's going to have to figure out where his role is going to be at the end of the day. But in order for Beauchamp to get on the floor, he's got to continue to shoot the 3 well. If he shoots the 3 well, Bud will figure out a way for him to play because he's long, he's athletic, he can get out and run, he can defend a little bit. Like, he'll play. But today, starting right now, no, he probably doesn't play. I'd agree with you.
Stark, you got one more, you got to run.
We'll do one more.
All right, Bart, we're going to do an NFL one once Sparky's gone, but I got to do this Bucks one. The Bucks' biggest threat to winning the NBA title, not the East, the title, is the Boston Celtics. Or mm-mm.
No.
Well,
I can't get down with there. Sorry. I can't get down with Boston, man. I can't get down with the rookie head coach beating Giannis. Like, maybe I'll be wrong.
I don't think Boston would beat the Bucks, but they would be the biggest threat of the other end of in the entire league.
I still think it's Golden State. I still think the Warriors are going to be the biggest problem for anybody in the NBA. By the time we get to the end of the year and all these guys get more experience, and Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson is not Klay Thompson right now.
No.
So if Klay Thompson gets back to being Klay Thompson by the end of the year, I think Golden State is the biggest challenger for the Bucks in a series. That would have been fun last year had Milton been healthy to see Bucks Warriors. And I think you will see Bucks Warriors this year in the finals, and it's going to be a hell of an NBA finals.
Bart, Celtics are the biggest threat?
Well, I'll answer in a minute. I want to say farewell to Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You betcha. Anytime. Let me know.
Sorry, one more. You got to interrupt, Sparky. I'm so sorry. I owe you an apology. Okay, last week I asked Bart, I said, Anthony Davis for Draymond, Kuminga, and Moody, the Warriors should do it. Or mm-mm. Anthony Davis for Draymond, Kuminga, and Moody. Or mm-mm.
Golden State?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Bart didn't like it.
But hold on. Let's be fair, and I do have to go. But let's be fair. I hate Draymond Green. Hate him. I think he's overpaid, the biggest overpaid role player in the league. He wouldn't have the contract he had if he didn't play with a bunch of shooters that are going to the Hall of Fame. It's just crap, all the credit he gets. So, yes, in order to make that work, sure. The other thing that leads to me a little bit on this is Golden State's medical team has always been thought of as one of the best in the NBA. So you get, Anthony Davis who can't stay healthy. Maybe they have a better chance of keeping him healthy at this point. And that would be, to have him inside a legitimate big like that to go with Steph and Klay would be amazing. I don't think he's a chemistry issue problem. I've never heard of him being a problem in the locker room. I think he would fit right in without any issues. And you get rid of that Draymond contract? Yeah, I think I would do it if I was Golden State. Absolutely. And if you're the Lakers, you absolutely have to do it because you're getting a couple of young guys back with some upside. So they have to do it as well. I saw a trade, was it yesterday? Bleacher Report. They had 5 trade proposals, and they had Anthony Davis to the Bulls in a deal involving Vucevic, White, and Caruso, I think, or something like that.
No Patrick Williams?
I don't think Patrick Williams was in it, no.
Okay.
And again, if you're the Bulls and you have a chance to get Anthony Davis, I think you do it too. especially if you can keep Levine with it and you can keep Ball, and then you can add Anthony Davis. Absolutely. If you're the Bulls, you do it. But it's going to be whether or not LeBron is okay selling, because that's who this is going to come down to at the end of the day. If LeBron says, to hell with you, we're not doing this, then they're not doing it. So we'll see.
All right, sorry,
Steve,
I interrupted your thing.
We're going to invite you back.
Yeah, whenever you want. I'm here, man. Just let me know. This is a good time, too. So whenever you need me.
We might next week. Okay, thanks.
Good to see you, buddy.
See you guys. Bye.
See you.
Steve Sparky Fifer of 1250 AM The Fan is going to be late for a meeting as he tries to save the station because Paul needed to ask about Anthony Davis for Moody, Kuminga, and Draymond.
Listen, the people wanted to know. I wanted to know his take on that.
It sounds like the window has stopped.
Now there's just a hammer. So, like, the drilling is temporarily apparently stopped, but you must not hear the hammer, so that's good.
A hammer is much more tolerable than dying whale fetus.
Oh, my goodness. That went dark.
That's what I heard. Well, I hear the hammer. It's
okay.
Well, what do I need to answer? By the way, I will say with Steve, very gracious, not for his 30 minutes today, which I am, but for him, totally. Steve's always had my back. He's always supported me. And I see, he's trying. This is a very weird situation, how the fan is gone, but Steve's still there. And I have no, why would I be mad? What's the alternative? Another guy loses their job? No way. So I'm so glad. And Sparky, they basically were like, Steve, you have a job, do what you want. And he's like, well, do what I want. I'll do it again. I've been doubted before. I'll do it again. So I totally support everything he's doing. Yes, I do want a job again someday. But I totally support everything he's doing. And he supported this podcast even when I wasn't sure that I could be legally doing it. So thank you to Steve. So, because sometimes people he'll say something and people tag, bring back Bart Chuck. He's got no say over that. He's doing what he can. So, nice thoughts.
Well said.
What do I need to answer now?
If the Celtics are the biggest threat to the Bucks winning the NBA title, or
No, it is the Warriors. I'm with Steve there.
So you're not down. I mean, none of this early season struggle is no big deal.
I don't take any of these teams in the East seriously. If Harden's playing as well as he was, the Sixers would probably be the one for me.
Well, I mean, when Embiid and Harden were together this year, it was disastrous.
Yeah,
yes. Harden has been great individually.
Yeah.
Now Harden's out, and Embiid puts up the best stat line in NBA history, but not with each other on the court.
Yeah, they don't play as well together, it seems. I'm just looking at everything else here, standings wise. Yeah, I don't know.
And you're probably not going to say the West #1 seed Utah Jazz.
The Hawks do nothing for me.
No.
The Cavs, we'll see them tonight. The Nets aren't even worth bringing up. The Heat. I guess. So I'm still going to say Sixers. Well, God, I guess in the East it is the Celtics, isn't it? But, going through the Bucks are far and away the front runner in the East, and I think in the league.
I think so too.
And so the right answer to that is injuries, to your question.
Okay. Biggest threats, yeah.
Yeah, but team-wise, I would say it's whoever represents out of the West, and I agree with Sparky. I think it's going to be Golden State.
Good. I do want to do one more NFL one.
Was there another one I didn't answer?
No, because you answered the Anthony Davis one last week, and you're still sticking with that, even though Sparky and I both said, the Warriors should do that. You're too big of a Draymond guy.
Well, Kuminga just got sent down to the Santa Cruz Slugs or whatever.
Yeah, not great.
I mean, you should probably do that deal, yeah, but I don't, me.
You're sticking with your guy.
Draymond's my guy.
I think it's a very strange choice for being your guy.
But Jordan Poole's my guy.
Yeah.
And he punched Jordan Poole.
He did. Speaking of something Sparky said, Golden State has a great medical staff. They made a guy getting jacked in the face not miss any time. That is a fantastic medical staff.
Yeah. You know what else they have? They have a great PR staff.
Well, not so good that they couldn't bury that video from coming out. Come on, Winkler.
Remember when for 3 days people were like, who leaked this video? They must die. They must rot. And then, so we just don't care who leaked the video anymore? Because that people were more pissed about that than Draymond punching. Who leaked Ray Rice's video? Nobody said that. Who leaked the video?
That was a distraction. That was never the important issue. The Warriors players wanted you to think that was the issue. The issue was that a dude punched a dude.
You got another
all right
question for me?
I'm gonna steal a bit here, and I don't think Ryan Russillo is like the originator of this, but it's where I heard it most recently. It's if you took the NFL standings and the NFL teams as they currently stand following Philly's loss on Monday Night Football, and you were to do a college football 4-team playoff. And who would the committee...
I like doing that.
Yeah, this is for me. This is really fun because I spend a lot of time just thinking about the options. So I'm going to give you mine, and of course I'm going to say or that you would have the same order, and then I'll justify my top 4 depending on whether you agree or not. At number 1, where did my list go? At number 1, the 7-2 Kansas City Chiefs. At number 2, the 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Despite their loss, I think the committee would take them out of the 1 spot, but not too far. At number 3, the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. And at number 4, the 7-3 Miami Dolphins, which keeps the Bills and the Ravens and the Cowboys, who had they beat Green Bay, I think the Cowboys would have had an argument for top 4. Ravens, Bills. Bills is obviously the tough one here, but they're 6-3. And they're trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah, they're 6-3. They're out.
I mean, I think, and again, like the Dolphins have 3 losses, but one of those Dolphins wins is against the Bills. So I don't think you can take a 3-win Bills team over a 3-win Dolphins team when the Dolphins beat the Bills. So again, number 1 in this college football playoff system, the Chiefs would be number 1. The Eagles, who of course would have been number 1 without the loss, go to number 2. The Vikings at 3, and the Dolphins at 4. That's the right college football list of the NFL this year.
Okay, very fun. I love it. Who did the Chiefs lose to? The Chiefs lost to this year. And the Chiefs do play 15 games at home each year. I looked.
You know, the Chiefs lost in Indianapolis, which was terrible. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a rough loss. And they also lost to Buffalo at Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah.
So the number 1 team in this, like that's the tough thing, right? Is that the number 1 ranked team, the Chiefs, lost at home to a team that's not making the college football playoff in this, in this scenario.
Well, you're giving the Chiefs a little bit of like Alabama credit, where there's
a little bit of Alabama credit that, like, you would say, like, are they gonna keep playing their best football? Have they played their best football yet? Whereas I would say Buffalo, and if I was a committee member, I'd say Buffalo's trending down. Like Josh Allen is hurt. It just kind of seemed like in Bart, when you were in Buffalo, you talked about how the sports radio people there were saying, yeah, but we only beat Green Bay by 10. But I think that's like a thing right now is like the Bills are obviously extremely good, but why are they sputtering? Why are they not excelling in the way that you would think they are? So I think the committee would say, yes, there's some Alabama here going on for the Chiefs, but there's more, I think, firepower and more positive momentum for the Chiefs. And I don't know, like I can still make a case that the Eagles should be number 1 despite losing most recently, but I think that recency bias would
if the committee was going to put out today, and I'm going to say to you.
Okay, I'm curious to hear where you go.
The number 1 seed.
You know what? I know what you're going to say. Can I guess what you're going to say?
Yes.
You're going to say the Minnesota Vikings.
Absolutely. Big win. Everyone saw it. 8-1, and the Eagles just lost. They just lost. So the committee is going to reward the Minnesota Vikings to be number 1. The Eagles will be at 2.
Wow.
They have 1 loss. They are in a division where everyone is 500 or better. Also true with the AFC East. There's 2 divisions like that. Actually, the AFC East, everyone's a winner. So number 2 is the Eagles. Number 3 is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, they got to at least be 3. I'm okay with that.
And number 4 is the New York Giants.
Stop. Stop.
Over the Dolphins?
No.
Absolutely. We're talking name brand versus TCU here.
No. But the name brand.
The New York Giants?
No.
You kidding me?
If you're a committee member, you want that Dolphins offense in the Final Four. Period.
No, I don't. I want New York City, media capital of the world.
Are you serious? You really think the committee would take the Giants?
Yeah. New York, Paul. Plus, their record's better. They only have 2 losses.
I'm not even entertaining the Giants as a top 6.
They're 7-2.
The Bills and the Ravens would be higher ranked in the college football system than the Giants. I'm okay with the Giants being 7.
The Green Bay Packers at 4.
Every committee member is a board member of the Green Bay Packers in that case. But you know what? Here's my point. If we were debating in the committee for the Vikings being number 1, it's a really easy case. They're coming off this win, the catch of the century by Justin Jefferson. And
I don't know. I'm sorry to totally interrupt you.
Sure, no, go ahead.
I would maybe still put the Bills at 4.
I'm okay. I would rather you put the Bills at 4 over the Giants. The Giants don't have the appeal. Like
they're 7-2. Appeal, a schmeal. We're talking records, baby.
But do you think they're going to predict the Giants final?
They're in the toughest division.
They are. And listen,
it's not like I'm bringing a AAC Memphis in here. I'm bringing a 2-team SEC.
I guess I would have put the Giants at 7 or 8. So I'm not trying to pretend.
I don't hate my Giants pick at all.
I think it's gross. I don't think
they would put the Bills in. Josh Allen has been struggling. Guy's point shaving. He's not, but some of the interceptions he's throwing, I think he's got 3 multi-interception games in a row now. The ones against the Packers were awful. He threw one against the Vikings this weekend that was dreadful. I don't know what, and they're all in the red zone. They're in the red zone, and he can run, and he's like, "Oh, there you go, sir."
He was watching that Rodgers at Ford Field tape.
It's really weird.
I think as much as the Bills, even 2 weeks ago, would have probably been the 1 seed. I think the questions about Josh Allen's health would keep them out. If you're debating, well, we got to have the Bills. The Bills, I know they have 3 losses, but they got to be in there. I know they lost to the Dolphins. But keep in mind, the Bills lost to the Dolphins. Can you put the Bills in and the Dolphins out? It's kind of the same argument for, can you have the Vikings be 1 and the Eagles be 2? When the Eagles not just beat the Vikings, destroyed the Vikings 24-7. They completely shut down Justin Jefferson. It was back in, I think that was week 2, week 3. So it was early in the season. So maybe you can say, yeah, that was 2 months ago. But that would be my pushback.
I wanted to tell you that I made the tough decision in a league on Sunday. I started Daniel Jones over Josh Allen.
In fantasy football?
Yeah, because they were being very weird with the injury thing.
Yeah, okay. Did that pay off for you, though? It didn't, right?
Daniel Jones, I believe, had 23 fantasy points, where Josh Allen had 21.5.
Okay.
So I then lost that matchup by a score of 116-76. I had an 0-for-6 week. I agonized for 45 minutes. Do I really start Daniel Jones over Josh Allen? And then I lose by 40 points.
That's how it goes. I'm trying to think. We play each other this week in our Dynasty League.
Oh, we do?
We do. So if you could make similarly bad decisions, that would be greatly appreciated.
Let me see. Do I have anyone on a bye? Oh, Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans.
Ooh, buddy.
That means I'm starting Kadarius Toney against you.
All right, I love that.
I was so happy for him. My brother and I have loved Kadarius Toney. Like all my brothers. For some reason, we all separately decided in fantasy we love Kadarius Toney. And we drafted him in dynasty leagues, and we drafted him higher than we should this year. And it's just weird. It's just funny.
My only guy on a bye this week is my superstar tight end, Cade Otton.
Cade Otton, yes.
Who's been very good.
Game-winning touchdown the other day.
He put up a 17.4 spot in week 9. All right, but I have one more for you, then I got to go.
Yes.
This Saturday at AEW Full Gear, MJF becomes the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Or mm-mm.
Well, with this company, who knows? I mean, Jeff Jarrett's running the show. It's basically TNA 2.0 again.
Jeff Jarrett is not running the show.
I think MJF wins. I think he has to.
I agree.
I'm very down on AEW, as you know.
It's like
I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's good?
I think they're giving TV time to a lot of the wrong people.
Who's getting TV time that shouldn't?
Jeff Jarrett.
It's a temporary thing because of the callbacks with Sting. It'll be like it'll peter out. He's just a behind the scenes guy. He's not a full-time performer.
Where's Miro?
I think he's honestly hurt. He's been hurt a lot.
For whatever reason, maybe when was the one where Danielson and Cole came? What pay-per-view?
That was not Revolution, All Out.
Because I was at my mother-in-law's for that, and that was the first AEW pay-per-view I ordered. I watched it downstairs in the basement.
It was an awesome pay-per-view. And
because, I'm a WWE guy. I got the network. I pay no dollars a month basically for it. And so to pay $50 on a pay-per-view again was like, oh, okay. I mean, I must really be into it. But I was totally sold on the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And then you heard some guys may come back. And then Cole came back, and you're like, oh, man, I'll take it. That's pretty cool. Or Cole came. But then Danielson came, and Cole was like, so it was really cool. This year, I have no, I want to watch MJF and John Moxley, but I'm assuming that they'll fight. They'll fake blood very early, and then MJF will win. What other matches do I need to watch this weekend? The way that the ROH stuff ruins it for me.
Yeah, I think eventually that will not be part of AEW programming, but it's not my favorite part of the show, for sure.
It's All-American belt.
All-Atlantic Championship.
There's too much going on. There's too much going on, but also not enough going on.
That's an interesting way to think about it. You're not into the Saraya debut page?
No, give me Emma on WWE. Okay. WWE Raw this week. So Austin Theory does the dumbest thing ever. Cashes in the Money in the Bank on the U.S. title. Comes out, gives the best promo he's ever given.
Yeah, it gave him direction.
He said, why am I going to cash in on Roman Reigns? I've tried. There's always someone there. Tyson Fury, Brock Lesnar. The Bloodline's got 5 people. I'm never getting that belt. So I'm going to try to get a belt that I can get. And I like the new direction. They took the weight off his shoulders. They got rid of your 24/7 championship.
Good.
Finally. And I'm into WWE. I want to be into AEW. I watch it and it's just like, I don't know. It's not doing it for me.
I mean, listen, it's not. It needs to refine the momentum it had.
Well, the Punk Elite stuff really screwed things up.
It did. I mean, it did. I mean, it's again, this is like you're asking a creative company. It's like, I don't know an example to use for the biggest show in the world, but it's like, I'll use one that I love. Okay, season 3 of Ted Lasso. By the way, Jason Sudeikis is no longer available. Yeah. You can still have a really cool show, but your whole script is different. The title of the show is different.
It's like Ellen Pompeo leaving Grace.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, it's a curveball. And, yeah.
It's like Michael Scott leaving the Dundies.
Yeah.
Or The Office.
Well, he also left the Dundies in charge to Dwight, maybe?
When The Office was being weird with hey, here's James Spader, and here's Idris Elba,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, looking back, I liked those better.
I did too. Yeah.
Than when they just gave it to Andy.
Oh, for sure. But then Andy left too because he had to go do The Hangover 2 or 3 or whatever it was. So then he went on the boat for like 8 episodes. He went on some expedition with his brother.
Dumb. Yeah.
His brother Josh Groban.
Yeah, the way he treated what's her face?
Yeah, Aaron.
Kimmy Schmidt.
Aaron, yeah. This was a great tangent. I want to see The Acclaimed again with Swerve in Our Glory. I'm excited for that. And though like the match on paper isn't like, huge, the steel cage match with Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus is going to be, I think, great.
But I got no juice on that anymore. The momentum on that died for me.
And part of the problem too there was that Christian Cage got hurt and then they had to pause and then they had to pivot. And I mean, it's yeah. You see the House of Black.
What can they do to get the momentum back?
I would give the
Omega
company,
coming back is big.
Well, right. The whole Elite coming back, which they're doing either tonight, Wednesday night on Dynamite, or on Sunday. And thank you for those of you who are still listening to this podcast. But I would say too, what would I do? I'd give the company to MJF, period. It's yours. Have fun. Go be MJF. He's like the star of all stars. It's your show. Go bring it as big as you can bring it. Right? No, you don't they don't do scripts, which is great. Let this dude run. 26 years old. He's awesome. He's just a game changer. Let it just be his thing. That's what I would do.
Star of the company.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play one voicemail.
All right.
And then I'll tell you about the rest of the week.
Hey, Bart. It's Daniel, long-time listener, first-time caller. Second cousin to Ryan Horvat, or first cousin removed. I don't know. We're related. Just wanted to point that out. I think Ryan makes the show. No, I'm kidding. Bart, you're amazing too. It's great to. I just want to say, hey, the Packers, I think they're back. I think Ryan's right. I think they can make a run. I think they have what it takes. Christian Watson looked amazing. If he can keep that up, I think, the Packers have a good chance of beating Tennessee, and maybe the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles, as Brian indicated, are a fluky team. But we'll see. I think they can really pull it off, and we'll see. We'll see where it takes us. We have nothing to lose, it seems like. In terms of the Bucks, it's Monday at 4:30 right now, so obviously they're playing in a couple hours versus the Hawks. We just need Giannis and Drew back in the lineup. I think that's what.
All right, Drew didn't play, and it's like 2 days later. I try to get the voicemails. I try to turn them around as quick as I can, but sometimes I don't.
I'm excited to see Cavs Bucks.
Yes, that game is tonight.
It's a very, very important, especially like if Garland and Mitchell are healthy and back. That is a really. I don't think they're ready. I don't think the Cavs are ready yet to really, really give the Bucks a serious playoff series, like a 6-7 game series. But with Jarrett Allen and Mobley at the rim, dude, if you've watched a little bit of Cavs, they are really hard to score on within 10 feet of the basket.
Well, is Drew going to play? I haven't seen yet.
Well, I don't know, but even if
because the Bucks are a deep team, but eventually when your depth starts to get hurt, like
if you're missing Middleton and Drew, even if Giannis plays, you still have a chance because it's Giannis.
Because they got the Cavs and Sixers this week, and we talked the Sixers are without Harden, but we're just getting like, I say that this year's watching Broadway rehearsals of the big play coming up. We're getting a lot of the understudies.
You are. And I love that you use that analogy because it's a perfect one.
One other thing
I like that you were a thespian in your.
I was an actor, yeah.
Yeah, and an actor simultaneously of being a thespian. Yes.
Would you like me to sing one of my songs?
I would actually very much like
that. Live for today. The past is gone. No time to stay. We'll carry on. And we may not know just where it ends, but we may not pass this way again. Reach for today and hold on to the sky. It's gone in the blink of an eye. There's no explanation, no reason or rhyme. Just goodbye. Just goodbye. That I have not sung in 25 years, and it just came back to me.
Lots of rehearsals.
Music, beads, and flowers are good for the spirit. Music, beads, and flowers are good for the soul. Love and understanding have brought us here today. I played a guy who owned a farm, and he basically had like a Woodstock on it.
Oh, that's cool.
My name was Travis Perkins.
Oh, hey, Travis.
Hey.
Good stuff, buddy.
So the next episode will be me and Toby.
Toby's
live
back
on location. We are going to a place called Carl's Place. So Carl's Place sells golf simulators. And Carl's Place is the latest team member of the Bart Winkler show. Carl's Place. Paul, see ya. Or I don't know if you're gone or not. Yeah. Okay, he just left. But we're gonna be at Carl's Place. We're gonna be golfing, and Toby and I will do a show, but we'll tell you more about that. Then on Friday, that'll be the Packers show, because we'll be taping that Thursday night live on YouTube. And somewhere along the way, got Horvat's picks. I'm either debating tacking that on the Packers show or doing a bonus Saturday show. I'll probably just tack it on the Packers show. I don't know. I don't know yet. The week of Thanksgiving, I will be involved in World Cup stuff. There will be World Cup breakdowns. I will maybe separate those. I'm trying to think about that. But there will be plenty of World Cup stuff. And then obviously I'm going to take off Thanksgiving. And then Black Friday, I'll probably do a late USA one. So those will be my first days off. I don't know the podcast. I remember I went to Buffalo and did a 15-minute show. That counted. Thank you, everybody. As always, enjoy the Bucks tonight. Might go live after that. Haven't decided. That's a great thing about a podcast and being unemployed. All right. Thanks to Steve, and thanks to Paul, and thanks to you. Bye now.